is the amount of people that will not come forth. But the one thing we learned is whoever done it has messed up, and they've shown somebody what they've done. And there's others out there that know where she is, but they're scared to speak.
That's the thing. People are scared, which I get it. You know, a lot of this stuff, like we report on, I'm sure y'all felt this way too. It's like you get a little nervous, but then at the same time, you're like, no one, screw these murderers. Welcome to Creepalachia. We have official new friends of the show with their second appearance, Mark and Courtney from Mountain State Mysteries. I am giddy with excitement. You all are some of my favorite people, so thank you for visiting today.
Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So we got a little list. We got some notes. We got some Alani new. Give me that sponsorship. I'm not stopping until I get it. And we're gonna talk. Probably maybe a little more than this, but we got 4 cases in general that we're going to kind of give overviews of, and enough details to where we don't get ourselves in trouble, but also let people know about the cases. I mean, we'll probably get ourselves in trouble anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. But let's go ahead. Give me a quick backstory. We have a first episode where we go through in depth about Mark and Courtney, how they started the podcast. So I highly recommend you check that one out first and then come back here. But we're going to touch on it a little bit here. So go ahead and give me a background, Mark, on you, a few paragraphs, and why y'all started the podcast.
Well, Lord, I've always been obsessed with true crime. One of the cases that we're going to talk about, well, actually 2 of them have been probably my origin story in true crime. It's kind of always been there for me because someone was allegedly murdered in my nanny's backyard. And that was probably one of the first cases I really went into. And I've kind of just fell into the rabbit hole podcast during COVID. And then me and Courtney were coming home one day from DC, and we were actually just sitting in the car quiet. And I just told her about a case that, I was obsessed with, one we talked about last time, Nellie and Ray, and it sent us into a spiral. Then things happened in life where I kind of had some free time to Google, and then I'm like, let's just do a podcast. There isn't that many about West Virginia. Usually if there is, it's just giving us crap, or, they're just overlooking all the cases in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, we could probably do this. So we put out an episode, and then it kind of just spiraled. What started as a hobby is now a passion project for us, and we're not stopping anytime soon with it.
Well, good. The world needs more stories about murder and missing and death. So Thank you for what you do. And you brought Courtney in early. You all were good friends before this?
Yeah, about 5 years before.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
5 years. What'd you say, Courtney? Like, yeah, I've always wanted to do this, actually. I was waiting for you to tell me.
So what's funny about it, he was like, I would love to start a podcast, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And with my job, I have done multiple interviews. Like, I have been CNN, Wall Street Journal, the Brookings Institute, things of that nature. So I was like, I'll speak. I don't care. I run my mouth anyway. I'll go ahead and speak. So, originally I was just kind of there for like moral support, but then things just kind of spiraled to where I would bring up cases to him. I would be like, oh my God, you need to check this one out. Or, I'd be like filling me in on stuff that would happen on certain things and everything. I'd be like, hey, have you ever heard about this one? And just different ways about that. So then it just kind of grew from there to where it truly is a passion, because like I've said last time, we want our victims to have a voice. We want their stories to get out there. We want to see justice for these families, because when it boils down to it, every family deserves peace. Oh,
yeah. And that's the thing I've noticed. call us weird, but it is comforting to sit down and talk to each other about these cases. But you're doing it for multiple reasons. And a huge part is obviously trying to get the awareness out there, because a lot of these cases people forget about.
Yeah.
And also there's families and friends that are still suffering the loss of these people. And yeah, it's important. And I'm glad y'all are deciding to do it, as you're really good at it. And I highly suggest y'all check out Mountain State Mysteries. It's a really good podcast, and they've done deep dives on all these cases, I imagine, that we're getting ready to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you want to do first, Mark? Let's see. We got a little list here. We got, let's talk about Cherice Gwinn-Stephens, who, she disappeared from work in the 90s. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She disappeared from Bolt in 93.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an overview of that, where she lived and what happened there.
Just want to say, anyone mentioned in this, they're not guilty until, proven guilty by a court of law.
Sure. Yeah.
But, she was born on June 27th, 1970 to Thomas and Sherry Gwinn. Tommy has since passed. His wife, Sherry, is still here. Basically, in 1989, she enlisted in the Navy, but she aggravated an injury. Not sure if it was a sports injury, car wreck. It just said she, aggravated pre-injury.
Mm-hmm.
So she moved back to West Virginia, and then she started to work at Spartan Sporting Goods that was in the mall, which I'm not sure where that was in the mall.
So, the old Hibbett's,
Mm-hmm.
well, not the old Hibbett's, the Hibbett's Sports.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Spartans was.
Oh, that's there now. Yeah. It's not Dick's. They built Dick's later. Okay.
So it's the one next to Hallmark?
Yes.
Okay. I don't go to the mall much anymore.
No, that's good to know, because also Dateline got it wrong.
Yeah. I'm like, Dick's was not there.
Yeah. Dick's was not there. They showed a picture of Dick's, said it was Spartans. No.
Yeah.
Or no, they didn't say Spartans.
No.
They just showed a picture of Dick's and said Sporting Goods Store.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not right, but okay.
Yeah.
So during Halloween in 1991, she was dressed as Dolly Parton, which I can fully see her dressing up as Dolly Parton.
Oh, we love Dolly.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
And that's when her soon-to-be husband, Norman, walked in. He was delivering a package there, and I guess he just fell head over heels for her. Thought she was beautiful, which, I mean, she is. And that's kind of like when everything started for their relationship. His family had a lake house at Smith Mountain Lake. And the two of them, I guess, were adrenaline junkies. They loved to ride like jet skis. You name it. I guess they were doing it. They loved to travel.
Man-eating catfish at Smith Mountain. You heard about that?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what they say. I don't think. Also, What About Bob was filmed there. But anyways, carry on.
What about Bob?
Oh my God, you got to watch it.
There's so many
Bill
movies.
Murray?
Yeah, there's so many movies I don't know that Courtney's like, you need to watch them. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like he'll say something. I'm like, oh my God, you've never watched that before? And he was like, no. And I was like, you've got to watch this.
Yeah. That was the movie for Smith Mountain Lake. So What About Bob? Basic 2-sentence synopsis. Obviously, Shereice is way more important in her families than this. But so Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss is his psychiatrist. Bill Murray is like this really kind of schizophrenic guy who can't live without his psychiatrist. His psychiatrist goes on vacation to the lake, and they filmed it at Smith Mountain Lake. And then Bob shows up, and chaos ensues. So hey, watch it. It's fun.
I'll have to watch it because I love Smith Mountain Lake.
Yeah.
But in 1992, she decided to leave Spartans and go to the College of West Virginia, which is now West Virginia Tech. And by like September of 93, she dropped all of her classes. And basically just saying they didn't fit into her schedule. And on October 1st, she dropped Norman off to work in the couple's 93 Dodge Daytona, which that's a full thing to get into. And then sometime after that, she met her friend Paula Hager for lunch. Where they met, how long they were together, we aren't sure. But long story short, Shereice asked Paula to move in with her because we aren't sure what was going on in the relationship. Shereice wanted out. And, after that, it was the last time anyone saw Shereice. She basically just poofed. We aren't sure if she went home to bolt. I kind of have a gut feeling she did after she got the okay with Paula to move in. She was, I guess, to me, smart, just loading up her vehicle, taking some stuff. We aren't sure, if that happened.
Or allegedly, she was seen with one of Norman's family members. He was the last person to see her alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did that come from?
It was in a newspaper article that a
Yes.
neighbor saw them, but we live near there. There is no way a neighbor could have seen, unless it was different back in 93. I'm not too sure. The only neighbor that I feel would have any outlook on the property died years ago. So, I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
In fun fact, this man was my former middle school principal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never had him.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Trap Hill.
Trap Hill. Cool. Cool name.
Yes.
Yeah. Then,
What was the mascot?
Wildcats.
yeah,
Go Wildcats, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Carry on.
love that. Because literally in the new Trap Hill, because I went there too, they have like a taxidermy wildcat in the cafeteria.
A real one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
It
It was like up on the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Awkward for the children? I don't know.
Actually, no.
Not really?
Well, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, but then you just paid it no mind afterwards.
I think they actually had it in the trophy case at the old Trap Hill. I cannot remember right offhand, but I think there was one.
Nice.
Speaking of it might be on top of the trophy case now.
Okay.
Or it was like when I was there like 10 years ago. But, basically after this, Shereice just disappeared. No one heard from her.
Mm.
Norman called her family and was like, hey, heard from Shereice. She isn't coming back. She left me. No idea where she is. Time went on. Her family, grew concerned. They were like, where is she? Which there's different reports.
Well, this right here was in the newspaper
Mm-hmm.
that Shereice's aunt was the one who reported her missing. And it was over a year before she was even reported.
Okay.
Which that does kind of shock me because I know her and her dad were so close because we worked with someone who actually grew up with Shereice, was friends with Shereice, and one of our friends, Christy, from AGT, she grew up with Shereice. And they're both like, she was a bit wild, but, she was level-headed and all that. And she was a daddy's girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really not sure why he didn't report her. I guess maybe he just thought she doesn't want anything to do with us anymore.
And there was also too, like, we heard that this was something common for her to do.
Yeah, she would just not be in contact with him for a while.
Sure. That's sad. But that happens though. People are different. Sometimes you get busy in your daily life and, obviously years a long time, but like I haven't talked to my dad in 10 years. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are different things for different reasons
Sure.
and stuff like that. But just from everything we heard, she was extremely close to her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel if you had that closeness there, you would definitely reach out.
Oh yeah. When my daughter grows up, I'm going to be like texting every day, like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they didn't have cell phones then, but
Yeah.
me
and Courtney went to DC at the beginning of the week, and how many times did my mom call us to be like, where are you?
Yeah. I talk to my mom every single day, like multiple times a day. So I know, like, if something ever happened and I came up missing, my mother is immediately going to reach out to Mark. She's going to reach out to my brother. I mean, she's going to reach out to everybody she can to find out if they have seen me. And I'm not just saying it to say it, but and I get what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, how do you go an entire year without hearing from your daughter and things of that nature? Like, that has always just blown my mind with this case.
Sure. Well, and it sounds, I guess, like when your life has such a pattern, it's hard to put yourself in other people's shoes. But, you know, I put myself in the early 90s. I mean, like, it was payphones and hard lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, who knows if they had a fight? Who knows if, like, you know, it's like, I don't need you anymore. You know, who knows the deal? But yeah, I totally, if her and her dad had a really close relationship and things like that, I totally can see how this is very, very odd.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the best way to say it. It's odd.
Yeah.
But after she was reported missing, she was entered into the International Crime Information Center, and basically a search of a 98-acre farm where she lived. It was his uncle and then their house. And at the time, there's reports that there was a hit in like a little, I don't want to say a shack. It was like an outbuilding type situation where they got a scent of her. But when we were doing this case, my dad actually knew one of the guys who was in the search, and he's like, never happened.
Oh, really?
He's like, there was never a hit on her.
Like dogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, and then recently there was kind of another search. Actually, what got us into doing this episode, it was one we've always wanted to do. We put on the back burner, and I got to noticing, I'm like, there's a lot of helicopters flying around in our area. Why? So we kind of just put our brains together and we're like, let's just drive out. There was helicopters over the property. Nothing's ever came of it. So we aren't sure what they were doing, if they were even looking for her. But it was kind of just like a sign, let's finally cover her.
What year was that?
23, 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
No.
So during this, you know, police did get an interview with Norman. He said that their 93 Dodge Daytona just randomly showed back up in the UPS parking lot one day.
With the keys over the sun visor.
Yeah. And there was like, nothing. And, oh, I forgot to say this. The day Shereice went missing, she did drop Norman off to work. She never showed up. He had to get a ride from someone else. The person who dropped him off didn't pay any attention to if she was actually there or not, because why would you? And then, basically, that's when everything kind of just started to trickle into place. But a month later, after the car randomly showed back up at UPS, he sold it to someone in Charleston. The cops found this out, tracked it down.
Let's break that down. So randomly showed back up. What exactly happened there?
So they couldn't find the car.
Okay.
Yeah, it went missing.
Like, as about the time Shereice went missing, the car was gone. Then randomly one day he worked at the UPS center up on George Street, and the car just randomly shows up, keys over in the sun visor, gone. They have no clue who dropped it off, nothing of that nature, anything. And also during this time too, he filed for divorce during this time.
It was a month after she disappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He filed for divorce. And then so the car shows up. Like I said, they had no clue who dropped it off, anything of that nature.
And during this, I asked Courtney, I'm like, when they just have like security footage, she went, It was the 90s.
90s,
Probably
yeah.
not.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
I mean, it'd been like, the pixel would be one.
Yeah.
And it's also too, like, think about like in the 90s and stuff, basically about the only place in the 90s that had security was hospitals and banks
Mhm.
had cameras. Other than that, they really didn't have that many cameras, especially during the time that she went missing. Well, he sold off the car to someone.
And we're not sure who. It's never been made public, just that it was in Charleston.
And to clarify, he said he did not drop it off there.
No.
Okay,
No,
gotcha.
he was working and like, boom, it was there.
Yeah.
And, the day she disappeared, it really isn't confirmed that he actually worked that day or not. So
Mhm.
we aren't sure. It's alleged. Who knows? But police got it. They have definitely searched it. We have seen it.
Yeah, they got the car back, and
They tore it up.
that car is tore up. I mean to tell you, there is foam ripped out of the seats.
They find anything?
Not that we know of.
Mm,
So, let me give. If I'm Norman's lawyer.
Mhm.
Why would he ever drop it off there? It makes zero sense.
Yeah, it
I
makes
don't.
no
I don't.
sense.
So I don't know why. Because odds are, whoever dropped it off either knows where she went, or had some involvement with it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
and they definitely had to know where he worked.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's a good knowledge of the family. But at the same time, let's just say they cased it for a while and knew exactly what they were going to do. But, I am curious what all was found in the vehicle. I mean, I'm assuming if they're going to drop it off, that it's going to be clean
Mhm.
of anything that you could possibly find. Was it so how long after she disappeared did it show up exactly,
Was
to
it-
clarify?
I want to say it was like the weirdest timing
Mm-hmm.
with it. It might have been a month. It might have been a few months, something of that nature.
Yeah.
But the car definitely showed back up.
Odd.
And, then, sold. Police got it. They tore it up, searching. And like I said, we have seen it.
Yes.
It's crazy where it is. We don't want to say.
Sure, yeah.
Where it
tell,
is.
tell me off there.
Yeah.
So, what's your theory? Why would they drop the car back off?
Only thing I know is whoever had it definitely had last contact with Shereice.
Mhm.
Right.
That's definitely whoever. I don't know if they're playing it off thinking, well, we can do this and make it seem like Shereice dropped it off and had somebody pick it up,
Mhm.
things of that nature, or what. But I mean, that part of the story has never made any type
Yeah.
of sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, that's eerily odd. That's just but
Oh.
and at the same time, what's Norman supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
Now, did the police ask for the car before he sold it? I mean, I'd imagine so. I don't know.
See, we aren't sure.
There's
We don't
things that
know.
we don't know.
Yeah.
And oddly, this story gets more weird.
Okay.
And, it was her only vehicle at the time, so I'm not sure if he bought one after she disappeared or what.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah,
What's he gonna do?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember when the Dodge Daytonas came out, and they were like the cutest little sportiest cars on the face of the planet and stuff. Actually, one of my friend's moms had one, and it was just so much fun riding in that car.
Sure.
And there's a picture of Shereice. It's her with the Daytona.
Is that in your file?
It should be in a website picture.
Okay, I'll find it.
I mean, it's in the file. It's just,
you got it in your
it's on her
folder?
website.
Okay, let me see here. Oop, hang on. All right, so people will know. Here's a picture of Shereice. Is this around the time when she was taken?
We have no idea.
Oh,
I
the year of
randomly
this?
found it on Facebook one day. I'm not sure if it's a yearbook picture, just a random picture of her.
Mm-hmm.
The one that they used, that was the one that they used
Yeah,
the most of her, was her majorette photo.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that picture is there. There it is.
Yeah.
That's her with the Daytona.
Okay, here's the Daytona. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay.
So, I mean,
Yeah, I remember these cars.
yeah,
Little 2 doors.
it definitely a sporty little thing.
Yeah. So this just ran white hubcaps, or it looks like hubcaps. So that just showed back up randomly.
Yes.
Yeah, and no idea why, no idea how, no idea who did it. It's just one of those things that makes zero sense in this case.
So the car shows up. They sells the car. They end up getting the car back. They tear the car apart. What happens next? Does it kind of start to go cold, or is there other?
In a way,
Yeah, in a major way, it starts to go cold, and then
it's rumored she is in the septic tank of the Breckenridge Missionary Baptist Church
Oh,
because they
Yes.
are
hold on,
building-
reverse. Hang on. That was a big revelation there. So how are here's the majorette photo for people. This is from an article from the Register Herald on December 7th, 1997. So someone gives a tip.
We aren't really sure. We just know that at the time they were doing construction for a new addition to the church.
Yeah, the church had grown so much that the original church could not hold anymore. So they started building a new sanctuary onto the church.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And Norman's uncle did attend that church, and he was one of the deacons.
which Shereice and Norman went to the church too, which to go to their house, you have to pass the church.
Yeah.
So it's rumored she is in there. They
Finally.
And to clarify, we don't know where that tip came from.
No.
Okay. So the
No.
police were informed.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
her family even sent a letter to the church, which I'm gonna let you do the honors because you do.
Oh, you got the letter? Okay.
Mhm.
Let's
it's
go.
actually in that list somewhere if you want to
Okay. Yeah.
find it. It's blurry, but I think there it is.
Cool. All right, Courtney, hit us with that pro read there.
Quote, "Dear members of the Breckenridge Missionary Baptist Church, we, the Gwinn family and friends, are looking for Angela Cherice Gwinn. At the time of her disappearance, she was living in this area and had gone to this church. She had been missing for almost 12 years. We need your help in getting closure on this matter. The reason for this letter is the Gwinn family and friends would like to provide a free service to your church. We have recently believed that there are some clues to her whereabouts in your septic tank located in the parking lot. We would like to have this tank closed out so we can look for these clues. We will use a licensed and trained professional along with proper authorities to do this. Please help us get the closure in this matter. We mean no harm to your church. If we find nothing, then no harm was done. We appreciate your help. Just another piece of the puzzle will be taken care of. If this was your daughter, sister, or friend, wouldn't you like to know? We asked to get people at the church to help. Members of the church ended up having a closed door meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It was.
they originally voted no.
yeah,
They originally
so
voted no, not to do it.
Yes.
Hmm.
it was 2017 when they finally got to look in the septic tank.
It was a big deal. I think it was
So they
around that
eventually
time.
let them do
yeah,
it.
years
Yes.
later.
And they were going to pay to have it all dug up, repaved, everything, because they were having to put a brand new septic system in.
Mhm.
So they wanted to check both septic systems to make sure the Shereice wasn't put in either one of them.
Goodness.
And thing is, my nanny used to work at PSD and she knows how septic tanks work and all that. She's like, it would be hard for there to even be anything. She's like, maybe what's the strongest bone in the body?
Your thigh bone.
Yeah, she said that might be there.
That would eat your body over time?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, there's a chemical.
There's
in it or
enzymes in
something.
there
Yeah.
that could eat up your.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy, but they ended up finding nothing. I guess the old septic tank was empty or something.
Yes.
And, really, after this, there wasn't anything. 2008, her father passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when I enter heaven, I'll know exactly what happened to her.
Man,
then-
that's depressing.
It really is.
It really is.
Just imagine that your dad and how much you're kicking yourself for the next, my goodness, that's horrible.
Yeah, and my nanny actually grew up with him, and she was like, that was one of the saddest things to ever hear, because she's like, he'll never be here to see what actually happens with the case.
Mm.
But really nothing after that.
Until
In 2010, actually, officers obtained a warrant to search a building it was like an old coal mining surplus store, I guess, on Glenview Road in MacArthur Crab Orchard, that area. They found a bone. And, all of this, the building was actually owned by Norman's brother. They found a bone, I guess, in the basement. It was sent to the Smithsonian. Turns out it was just an animal bone. But the building was so bad that
they had to condemn it and tear it down.
yeah, basically the building was searched on a Monday. It was down by Wednesday.
Mm.
And after this, 2014, the Raleigh County Commissioners addressed issues and all that. One being the petition for her death, and Linda Epling actually approved the petition to declare her dead.
Mm.
Which that's always been weird to me.
It's really weird. Why in the world would the county commission be the one to declare someone dead?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how it works. So I know
I always thought
for
it had to be a
family
judge.
purposes, there's certain processes that can't happen until someone's declared legally
Yes.
dead. So maybe some type of, insurance or will or something needing to be processed or something like that. That's just an assumption. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it would depend on.
But also at that time, don't it make you wonder, like, if that was the case, why her mother or brother didn't have her declared dead?
Yeah, well, I know you have to wait so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
How many years?
I think it's like 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to say. And the reason I know that's because Tiger King. Carol Baskin had her husband declared dead at like 5 years and 2 days or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if that's the case for every state. That was Florida. So
God only knows. Florida's a free for all sometimes.
Oh my God, it really is.
I woke up like one random. No, it was actually after and I know this because I had to cut it out. We were doing the Beckley John Doe case. And Courtney's like, I have a text from my brother of an iguana outbreak.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
yeah, a lot of snakes, a lot of.
Yeah. Well, the iguanas down there have taken over so bad. That's kind of like the coyotes here. Like, you don't have to have a permit or nothing. You can go out there and kill them because they have taken over so much down there.
Won't they pay you so much per iguana?
I think so.
You go out, you just be a iguana mercenary.
Yeah, right. I mean, they pay the people to go into the Everglades to get the pythons out.
You talk about a podcast.
Yeah.
Mic yourself up and go iguana hunting and just post it.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, retirement plans.
Yeah, y'all can go for it. I'm okay.
Oh my God, I'm totally down.
I'm down.
I'll
Courtney.
be at the pool.
Yeah. I'm down for this.
Yeah.
I'll bring the vlog gear. We'll hook it up.
Really, nothing has ever happened in this case. There's been a few searches. Her car was searched, septic tank, property, a building. We've heard a few things.
Yeah.
Not
Can't really.
100% sure,
Small town stuff.
Well,
Small town, Beckley stuff, things of that nature. It's just honestly, when somebody goes missing and it's over the course of these years, it's honestly one of the saddest things because you don't know where they are. Things of that nature, like there's no ending to it.
Yeah.
With it.
Well, and the ripple effects, because, we all report on the same cases And they're so memorable to people because of stuff like this. It's like, how in the world did this happen? And we can't, like, something like this, I don't believe happens today with the technology that we have today. But even still, like David Fan, that wasn't that long ago. You know, this stuff still happens. Yeah. And it's just so crazy.
David's case, we actually went to the overlook because we don't live far from the lake. And we took my dad because he knows that lake like the back of his hand. He's like, the distance doesn't make sense. He's like, if he was so many yards away from the overlook, he'd be in plain sight. And, you know, we just know.
And nothing about that case makes sense. No. Nothing.
The daughters are coming in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it. It's crazy. I mean, all of these are crazy, but man.
Yeah. Which another crazy thing was Shereice's case in October 24, there was Reddit posts made. And it kind of got everyone talking. I was actually at the Mayberry Mansion on Halloween. And one of our friends, Cassidy, was like, have you seen these? I've been meaning to tell you. I'm like, no, you could have told me sooner. She's like, sorry, been busy working. And
get your priorities together. Come on.
Yeah. It was this guy, and I'm not going to name drop because I don't remember the name. But he's like, me and my brother helped Norman take Shereice to a cabin in Lewisburg. And then we took her body to Stonecliff, which is right below Thurman, dumped her off the bridge. And like, these are so wild that, Tommy's wife made a post saying like, nothing about this is true. It's just, we aren't
just
sure.
Some jerk.
Yeah. We're not sure what's going on, anything of that. And then I know it's hard for stuff to get deleted off of Reddit. They have been removed, like wiped clean.
Oh, that's good.
But I remember it because I remember seeing them at 3 a.m. I think I was sending screenshots to Courtney. I'm like, look at this. She's like, I'm asleep. I'm like, just look at it and read it. She was like, oh my God.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
What year was that?
24.
24.
So last year.
Yeah.
So people are still, it's still, I know I made one post about this and people were commenting and sending messages, and it's still alive in this area.
For me growing up, I'm sure it's the same for Courtney. Shereice has always been there. When we would go to the post office, her picture was on a pole.
There was missing posters
everywhere,
all over that town. I think there was missing posters on every single power pole, telephone pole, going down the road. They were at the supermarket,
gas stations,
on the
everywhere.
Bulletin boards at the grocery store. Her missing posters were there. And I think I was like 10 or 11 years old when Shereice went missing. And there was just something about that just tore me up on the inside, because I couldn't believe this beautiful woman had gone missing. And I remember telling my mom, I said, Mommy, what happened to her? I said, she's so pretty. And I just kept telling that to my mom. And anytime now I see a missing poster, because they are actually some that are still randomly up.
Oh, really?
Around. And even now when I see them, just something sits so off with me about it. And it's like I tell people in our podcast, if somebody out there knows what happened to Shereice, and shame on them if they're not coming forward to give this family peace, to let the family know possibly where her remains could be, things of that nature. And honestly, that's the thing that frustrates me so bad about true crime, is the amount of people that will not come forth. But the one thing we learned is whoever done it has messed up, and they've shown somebody what they've done. And there's others out there that know where she is, but they're scared to speak.
That's the thing. People are scared, which I get it. A lot of this stuff, like we report on, I'm sure y'all felt this way too. It's like you get a little nervous, but then at the same time, you're like, no one, screw these murderers. you got to eventually just buck up and say, you know what? We're not going to let this happen.
And it's so funny with us. Like, he is the cautious one.
Yeah, and like,
And it's good to be.
yeah, and literally our last episode, or was our last episode, Dr. Doc Whitley?
Yes.
We
McDowell.
actually were getting comments on it from Kathy, who was his caretaker and a nurse. She's like, I'm not going to listen to it, but can someone tell me if they said my son was exonerated? I'm like, of course we did. Like, we wouldn't do it if we didn't. And I'm like, this could go either good or bad. Luckily, it went good and nothing's happened.
But then it was so funny too, like when, for example, with Alex's case, like,
Alex Carter.
yeah, he was nervous because I told him things and everything. And he was like, oh my God, oh my God. He was like, Courtney, I'm not going to end up dead, am I? And I was like, no. I'm like, you're with me. You're fine. I was like, you're with me. You're fine. And things, but it's so funny. He is the very cautious one.
It's good to be.
I'm the very outspoken. I don't care. I get it out there.
Y'all are like yin yang. You got to have it both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
I've lately became less cautious. I'm like, I just want to get this out there. I really don't care.
Well, at the same time, on the contrary, we don't want to throw a bunch of false accusations out there because that's a thing too. So you got to approach it of like, here are the facts. Here's who was seen. Here's what happened. And across the board, people are going to understand that. Now, when people are going through trials and they get evidence and all this stuff and people are convicted, no holds barred. You know, I'm not gonna hold back on a murderer. Now, there's a redemption aspect too. If someone takes accountability and they say, I did this, and they work the rest of their life to make up for that, of course, we're not going to forgive the murder, but at the same time, that's a good thing to do. And, you know, whatever you believe in, get to where, you know, eventually you have not made up for it, obviously, but you're trying to. That's different. But yeah, I'm with y'all. Like, you got to have both. You got to be cautious, but you also got to be steadfast. And, you know, it's like the investigators and all the people in the families, those are the people that are suffering the most. The least we could do is keep the awareness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, and there's ways to do that. And I think y'all are doing a great job.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Shereice, is there a reward or anything or any kind
there
of...
used to be. I don't know if there still is or not. I know they have a P.O. box open somewhere. I think it's in one of the things on there.
Files here.
Might have been one of the things accidentally blurred because there was like personal phone numbers.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Let me see. We'll do a quick little search here and make sure.
P.O. Box 131, Glen Jean, West Virginia, 25846.
Okay, so that's what people can... Will you mail tips?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I know her brother used to be on Facebook. He sadly isn't anymore. Because I really want to talk to him. But I know he doesn't talk about the case anymore. And
honestly, I think it comes to a point to where when it's been so long, you never forget them, but you also have to start a healing process for yourself. Because if you don't, grief is going to overtake your life honestly, to the bitter end.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't imagine. I'm bringing up a article from, it looks like June 16th, 1997 in the Register Herald. So this was the original missing person ad, I guess you'd call it. But it said that Detective Sergeant Gordon R. Gregory of the Raleigh County Sheriff's Office, no clue where he's at now, but then it has the address of the place and has the number 304-255-9300. So I'm sure that's still valid. If someone knows anything, give the sheriff's office a call 911, call any cop that's around you. And, you know, of course, you can DM the page or email creepalachia@gmail.com. You can DM Mountain State Mysteries. Yeah. Either one. Well, hopefully someone figures out something.
And I will tell you, too, about her case. You did not get nothing to around 1996, 1997. And I remember in the newspaper back in the day, like they actually had all the crime that happened in the city of Beckley and Raleigh County. And we went through an entire year of that. And there was not one missing person report listed during that time.
Wow. And they even put her social security number on.
Yeah,
there.
I love how like back in the day, newspapers and everything did not care.
They didn't give a crap.
But now
They
they're
really
like,
didn't.
let's not do that, because there was one that actually has the murder victim on front page, and I forget which case it was, but we were looking into it, and I'm like,
Oh, it
This
was
is
one of the
crazy.
ones that they gave us up at the Clarksburg Mystery Museum.
oh yeah,
the
it was
History Museum.
these two people were like murdered. It was a woman and their maid.
Yeah, it
and
was the dentist wife.
It has them on the floor, their brains all over the wall,
Good
bullet
Lord.
holes.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's insane.
everywhere. And I was like, man, I was like, the press really had a free day back
Yeah,
in the
no.
time.
They post people, they post executions and, you know, all kinds of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says on here, Angela Cherice Gwinn-Stephens, white female, date of disappearance, October 1st, 1993. Date of birth, June 27th, 1960. That would have made her 33 years old. Thoughts and prayers of the family, indeed, and friends and everyone suffering over Shereice. And hope this helps. But either way, very sorry for your loss. Odds are they marked her dead. So, so yeah, sucks. All right. So we're going to walk into Gretchen Fleming, which is a case out of Parkersburg that is very, very sad. I mean, all these are sad, but a young woman from Parkersburg disappeared. Go ahead and walk me through that from the beginning, Mark.
The first thing with it, she disappeared on December 4th, 22. And I remember hitting the headlines. I sent Courtney a text. I'm like, I just have a gut feeling with this case. I'm like, it was my first solo episode ever done. I'm like, we got to get this out there. So I think technically we were the first podcast to release any information on her. But basically, her grandmother drove her to work. She hadn't seen her, which she said, you know, is normal. She would, you know, crash at friends' houses, all of that stuff. But it just, basically by Thursday, she started to grow concerned, and she's like, you know, this isn't right. So she went to Gretchen's dad's house, and the reason she wasn't there, he remarried, and it was basically, I guess, a smaller house, too many people in it. So Gretchen just stayed with her grandmother, and her dad would send her texts, call her, everything would just go unanswered. And
Is her dad here in the photo? Okay.
He has sadly since passed away.
Died of a heart attack, didn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was something. And
You know, I made a post and I didn't realize, and sorry to cut you off, but I didn't realize that he had died. So I saw he just posted in January about someone tearing down a missing persons flyer. So I commented on there and I said, hey, I'd love to connect. Very sorry that you're going through this. And then someone sent me a message that said he died this year. And I was like, man, daggone it.
yeah.
Because he'd done a news story with his wife, and they were talking about going through the case, and he was very faithful that something was going to open up. But go ahead. Sorry, I just wanted to add that little
trust me,
caveat.
you were good. So him and his wife started to just drive around Parkersburg. They went to the Front Row Sports Bar, and they were talking to the bartender, and the bartender was like, we actually have her purse. And he's like, uh-huh. He's like, one of her friends dropped it off. And, you know, they ended up finding the friend that dropped it off. And he was like, we went to the My Way bar, and like we started at the Front Row. She wanted to go to karaoke at the My Way Bar and Lounge. And so we went, she left her purse and everything in it in my car.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you know, we were there for karaoke night. We were just sitting at the bar, and, you know, later it was found that they were at the bar, but they weren't sitting together. He was over talking to some of his friends. She was alone. And after that, he's like, I went to the bathroom. She was gone. And he's like, I don't know what to do with her purse. I'm like, she'll just end up back at the front row. And they took it. So after her dad and stepmom got home, they were like going through her phone. It was dead. So he charged it. And, last time she was actually on her phone was December 3rd. And, they went to the police station the next morning, filed a missing persons report. The detective over the case found John, her friend, talked to him. He basically told him everything that, he told her parents. And then they went home and all of that. And then the My Way Lounge actually contacted her dad on Facebook. And he's like, hey, we have surveillance video of Gretchen at the bar if you want to come down and look at it. So the video showed Gretchen on one side, her friend on another. He was talking to friends. And then this guy comes out of the gambling room and he makes his way over to Gretchen, buys her a drink. They end up talking. She goes back into the gambling room with him. By this time, her friend went to the bathroom. This guy, whose name is Preston Pierce, and Gretchen walked out of the gambling room.
Is that this guy?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He's in front of her. She's behind him. They leave. We really aren't sure where he went with her. We know they were in. It's actually not shown she's in the vehicle with him when they left.
Mm-hmm.
So the bartender names him, and I think they interviewed him December 13th. He's like, we left the bar together. I dropped her off in on Main Street, somewhere downtown. And, after this, they ended up searching the woods behind his house. And really, it kind of went cold in a way because you didn't hear anything else. But then her family was still on Facebook trying to update, find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, there's this Facebook page for Gretchen. And me and Courtney are actually a part of it because we found it fascinating that a bunch of women who did DoorDash in Parkersburg were complaining about Preston.
Well, like my coworker, she actually told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she had heard all kinds of things about him because he is a former police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And he would DoorDash, and all these women drop off their food, and then after that, he would contact them and start harassing them,
stalking try to
them,
knock their doors down.
Yes, all this stuff until finally they had to ban him from doing DoorDash,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much like. We found that, and of course on the post there was a lot of different things talking about Gretchen's remembrance and all that type of stuff. But my coworker's daughter, oh God, I'm trying to remember if she told me she cheered with her or they went to school or something.
Mm-hmm. So all the DoorDash stuff that was proven, like that actually happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, there was hundreds of women on there. And what's funny, I guess it's not funny, but if people see him in Parkersburg, they will take a picture of him and post it on the thing.
Oh, really?
Like
Parkersburg, Huntington, any place that this guy is seen.
There is pictures of him being posted.
There's pictures. One point they sent him in Barbersville and they ran him out of Barbersville.
Mm-hmm.
He was seen in Long John Silver's eating fish or chicken. Like, they do not care. They will post whatever, be like, watch your surroundings because everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
He's, I guess, essentially crazy.
Oh, is he? Well, and also he not guilty until
proven guilty.
Guilty. So this is all obviously he's not guilty of anything to do with Gretchen currently.
Yeah. But I think he's really the only main suspect that we know of.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
How did the purse end up at the bar?
Her friend that was with her at the My Way ended up dropping it off back at the bar because he knows that's one of her favorite bars in the area.
Okay.
And I guess he didn't know her parents or something. I'm not sure really what their friendship was, if they just met that night or anything like that. But in January 2023, police got a tip that Gretchen may be in a well. They call it a well. To me, it's more like a water tower type situation. They end up draining all the water, seeing if she's in there, searching it. Nothing's ever came of it.
Where was that at?
Honestly, I'm not sure if they've ever said where it was. I think it was maybe between Parkersburg and Ripley.
Well, there's mineral wells.
I mean, I can picture it because it was on a TV show. It's just like a green well that looks like a water tower.
It might be in mineral wells because that's right outside of Parkersburg.
Let's see. I Googled Gretchen Fleming well tower. New lead in missing Gretchen Fleming case as ex-cops home raided 2 years after she vanished the bar with mystery man. That was in November 21st of 2024. So this is
and those are actually the pictures I have in it. The FBI raided his house.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm not sure if they found anything. I don't remember.
Well, charges haven't been brought up yet, correct?
No.
So
But there's one thing I have learned, especially with the FBI being involved. They will not disclose nothing except to the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that one for a fact.
That's pretty standard, yeah. Because you can't really, because you're endangering tainting the case and giving their lawyer something to argue about in court and get the whole thing thrown out, But yeah, I get that. Yeah, it says here, Pierce, now 55, last year, has worked as a police officer at multiple departments throughout West Virginia.
And if I understand correctly, like I said, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe they said he was fired from every one of those police departments.
I got you. Let's see. Says nearly 2 years after Fleming vanished, cops were seen investigating the house where Pierce used to live in Parkersburg, which is about 78 miles north of Charleston, West Virginia, on Wednesday. The FBI and our law enforcement partners are conducting court-authorized activity at an address in Parkersburg. So there isn't any, to me, there's no favoritism. I mean, they're looking into this.
Yeah.
So, the fact that he worked at the police department isn't.
And I think that could be also why they're staying so silent on it, because he would know what they do.
And allegedly, too, he changed his aliases nonstop. He has multiple aliases.
Yeah. There was a few on DoorDash.
I think one of them was John,
something like that. It's so weird. I think it would be scary to be in his mind because there's just so much that we have heard.
Right.
And it's just crazy. And I think he made a Facebook post saying he was homeless now. He can't get a job, but he's been everywhere but the southern part of West Virginia, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in Wheeling, parts of Kentucky, I think, some parts of Ohio.
They got a nice little timeline here. It says December 4th, 2022, Gretchen Fleming, 27, last seen leaving the My Way Lounge and Restaurant in Parkersburg, West Virginia. December 12th, Gretchen's family reports her missing. And this is all in 2022. Gretchen's 28th birthday passes on December 24th. Oh, Christmas Eve. December 29th, Parkersburg Police Chief Matt Board confirms police have a person of interest. January 5th, 2023, a search warrant is served at the home of Preston Pierce, whose name was previously Darrell Lott. December 2023, Board confirms Pierce as the person of interest to the Parkersburg News and Centennial. And then November 20th, a second search warrant is carried out at Pierce's former house. the FBI. Interesting. So
It really is.
it seems like they're progressing. Now, of course, Preston's innocent until proven guilty. This is all alleged, but I was trying to find the tower, which I have not found yet.
It was on a TV show, and I forget the TV show.
Searched. Let's see. Yeah. Well,
What was that show? It was on
It's on Investigation Discovery. I know that one.
right. Well, bottom line, nothing was found.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But really, ever since his house was searched, there hasn't been much.
Which this
on
was
her
picked up.
case.
Wasn't it picked up by like Nancy Grace and like all the
It's
national
like went
outlets?
mainstream, which is great, but it's one of those things that it's kind of died down ever since the last search of his home in the whale. You don't
Mhm.
hear much on it anymore. And
Gotcha. Well, then we got here. I wonder if this reward's still active. So it says reward of up to $15,000. It seems like, hang on. It seems like it was more than that. I think it was raised. Let me make sure here. Because we made it, Adra Johnson shout out, made a post about this, and I want to make sure I get the details correct. Because there is reward. Man, we post too much stuff. Let's see here. 1 second. Okay. All right, here we go. So, oh, wow. Okay. So a family is torn and town shaken after one of their own seemingly vanished into the night. There is $100,000 reward to anyone who is able to solve the case. Let me clarify that to be sure, so we can let you all know who to contact. Yeah.
yeah,
So on May 25th, 2023, a reward reaches $100,000 for Parkersburg woman missing. It says anyone with any information regarding Gretchen Fleming's disappearance is asked to contact the Parkersburg Police Department or Detective Zimmerman at 304-424-1072. So, yeah. I wonder if that's changed since her dad's passed away. I mean, this is I haven't seen any updates. So, as far as I know,
I haven't seen any updates since he passed. And what's sad is her grandmother actually passed away too. What, a few months before her
they
dad?
were very close.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very sad because they will never see, the case solved, but hopefully they know, what's happened to her.
sure, yeah.
Which actually, I don't want to say there hasn't been anything. The FBI has taken over the case, I think.
Yeah. Well, the FBI doing searches on November of last year. So yeah, and that was in 2023 where it said Detective Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very tragic, interesting. But if anyone knows anything, obviously, let's go. Let's get it done. I think there's been plethora of tips flow in from the public because they're very interested in this one, as they should be. I mean, in all these cases,
100%.
find interesting. Obviously, Gretchen was an attractive young lady. That seems to spread more, but that's unfortunate because there's so many people missing. There's 400 people missing in West Virginia right now. It's crazy.
It really is.
Insane. All right. So anything else on Gretchen, or is that?
I really think that's
pretty
covers
good
it for the most part.
So we got Chandice Cochran. I don't know anything about Chandice. So kind of set that one up for me the same way, if you don't mind.
You want to go over it?
Sure. Chandice is from Sutton, West Virginia. honestly, she grew up with her mom and her brother, Bert.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother, like, they had an incredible bond. But in 2010, on Father's Day, her brother passed away from an overdose.
Oh.
And honestly, after that right there happened, Chandice kind of went downhill at that given point. She had actually, like, from what we've covered, she actually had an addiction problem, things of that nature, but she did get clean.
Good for her.
And so on August 20th, 2019, her mom, Becky, came home and found a letter that said, quote, "Mom, I took off for a little while. I'm in good hands. I promise. Be back shortly. Please do not worry. No need to call. But call me if you need anything. Chand." End quote. So her mom didn't honestly think nothing about it at that given point. However, there's a man from Gilmer County whose name is Christopher Spees. And he is the guy who picked Chandice up. And like we mentioned, Chandice was from Sutton. And he drove all the way down to Birch River. Now, I don't know if you've been from Sutton to Birch River, but it's not that far of a distance, maybe about 15 miles from there. But
I know it shocked me. Were we going to Parkersburg?
I think so.
And you're like, oh, there's the gas station. Chandice was seen. And I'm like, okay, like it made no sense to me.
Yeah. And for those who do not know, Birch River is in the Nicholas County area. So, troopers honestly believe that the two went there to sell drugs. That's what they believed. But here's the thing about Christopher. He was also a sex offender.
He didn't register things like that, right?
Yeah, no. And there was multiple warrants out for his arrest too, because he would fail to register himself as one, anything of that nature. So the two of them actually ended up at the house of Sam Kelly around midnight. And about that time, Sam decided that he was going to go over to Go-Mart to get some cigarettes with his girlfriend. When the two came back, they saw Chandice and Christopher leaving on foot, heading towards the fire department. And that was sadly the last time Chandice was ever seen. Christopher, when he speaks about her, says that in the general area that he's seen her like around 7 a.m. on August 21st, walking along, oh Lord, Windendale Road.
That's good.
Just a few miles outside of Birch River. And then the person who saw him walking picked him up and saw that person was none other than Sam Kelly.
Which I've always found that a little ironic. Like the last person to see you guys walking is the one
Sam
that picks
Kelly.
you up in the morning.
Yeah.
Walking alone because Chandice is God knows where at this point.
And he told the officers that he saw Christopher walking on his way to work. And so Chandice's phone died around midnight and she had never been seen since. Following her disappearance, Christopher has been arrested multiple times on charges related to her disappearance. And when we recorded our episode, he was serving time on convictions from Braxton, Lewis, and Nicholas County for grand larceny, attempt to commit grand larceny, and failure to register as a sex offender. And
I learned today grand larceny's $1,000 or over. I can't remember. Yeah, something like that.
And
stealing.
Oddly, after we did air Chandice's episode, and when I say this is pure coincidence, it's pure coincidence that police did a search on a property in Clay County, and there's been no updates since then.
It's been silence ever since then.
How long ago was that?
Oh my God, it wasn't that long ago because I actually texted, I want to say maybe about a year and a half max ago that happened.
Now, when you say charges, he's arrested for charges related. Is that, it's not related to the disappearance of Chandice, right?
No,
it's just related to
just all of his
stealing.
Stuff.
Yeah, gotcha.
His stealing, not registering as a sex offender. And, Courtney has been in stores doing her job and everything. They're like, oh, have you talked? She, hands out business cards and everything for us. And anytime she's in the area, they're like, Chandice Cochran. And someone was supposed to get us in contact with her mom, weren't they?
So I wear my little pin here. And somebody was asking about her. And I was telling the story. And as soon as I got done, one of the members up in Gasaway said, oh my God, have you covered Chandice Cochran? And I said, yes, we have. And they were like, oh my God, I need to tell her mom. She said, me and her mom are really good friends. And I said, yes, please. And I said, she can listen to the episode, anything. I said, if she'd like to get in contact with us, we would gladly love to have her onto the show. And I said, we never really heard nothing about that. But I mean, it's multiple places that I'll go into. Oh my God, have you covered the girl missing from Sutton? Have you done this and everything? And there's just, in every one of these missing cases, there's just something about it that does not ever make sense whatsoever about any of it. Like, I mean, him walking to Go Mart. Well, just depending on where they were, there's cameras that will be all over that building to where they would be able to see what's going on. Or something of that nature. There has to be some sort of footage out there that shows what happened to her, where she was taken, things of that nature.
And one thing, I thought this Go Mart was like in the middle of the woods, and like not in the middle of the woods, just like in the middle of a town somewhere. And Courtney went, that's the Go Mart. I'm like, it's right next to the interstate. I'm like, I did not realize that.
Is the one below Taco Bell there, or I can't remember if it's Taco Bell.
Like as soon as you come off the mountain, before you go up 19, it's right off an exit. I mean, you turn off the exit right, you're right there at the Go Mart. And I just started putting things like, I said, something just don't make sense to me about any of this,
Sure. I mean, they're all perplexing for sure.
100%.
And the pin you have on your shirt is Alex Carter, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And for those who don't know, Alex and her mom were found in the backyard of her murderer's house, and he confessed on his deathbed, literally. I know the reporter that went in and done that interview. Shout out Annie Moore. But yeah, crazy. Well, so and that's kind of where we're at now. Is kind of they're still working on it actively. Obviously, we're not going to know a lot of information, but things are occurring. Yeah,
like it was said, there's a search. After that, nothing has ever came ever since.
And it's allegedly his property that they went to go check. And I was like, that's kind of, if he did do something, that's kind of far to take a body. But at this day and time, I don't put nothing past anybody.
Sure.
And things of that nature.
Yeah. And obviously he's innocent currently, till proven guilty.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, allegedly.
Innocent of Chandice.
Well, he's guilty of grand larceny.
Yeah.
Okay, got him.
And being a sex offender.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sex offender. 100%. And this one, they're still looking into it. Gotcha. Man, sad. Let's talk about, so you mentioned something, and I'm glad you brought up that she suffered from addiction. I think a lot of time, that's an excuse for people to just be like, you know, I don't care what it is. They didn't ask to be murdered. Okay. Someone suffering from addiction is just the same as someone not to me when it comes to this stuff.
And another thing too, regardless of how you personally feel about it, at the bottom line, this is someone's child who is going through an addiction. Nobody deserves to die.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, except for people who actually did kill somebody. But we also know too, a majority of people that are on death row or in prison have been wrongfully accused.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, nobody really deserves to die, things of that nature. And that's what's so bad is people have this whole stigma that like, they'll hear, oh, well, she was an addict, but they don't hear how she got her life together, how she got herself clean, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And everything. And for somebody just to presume that she was there with him to sell drugs is something completely different. But, you know, at the same time, what bothers me is like, you don't know somebody's mental state.
Yeah.
When things like this happen.
If they were to sell drugs, it doesn't matter to me.
No.
Like bottom line, even if she was still in active addiction, she didn't get the chance to have that possibility to climb back out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, you make certain decisions in life that you shouldn't. You don't deserve to die.
No.
And it's important to talk about, too, like, we have put people to death that were innocent.
Yes.
I think it's proven. I can't remember. I think the number's like somewhere around 200 cases, they think, over the years.
I'm trying to think of the last case. I want to think it was maybe down in Arkansas to where the lawyers were even reaching out. The judges, everybody was like, no, this man is innocent. And the governor of Arkansas, I want to say this was the state. It was Arkansas or Missouri. One of the two decided, well, nope, we're just going to go ahead and put him to death. Literally put an innocent man to death. And all this information came out that he was wrongfully convicted, everything. And they just went ahead and put him to death.
I think I remember there's some big TikTok push there about last year where something was going on, which I don't know the exact details. But yeah, my problem with it, here's the thing. Someone without a doubt harms a kid, murders a kid, does anything, murder someone, I'm for it. Problem is human error.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where the stickiness comes in. It's like, well, then we got to trust, you know, random Jimmy Joe and Sally Mae to decide what happened. And often we get it wrong.
Yeah. Well, it was like I was telling Mark, when I done a psychology class, they were talking about there is actually no such thing as an eyewitness because your brain will only remember what you want it to remember.
Sure.
And there's so many people who literally say this happened and it gets the wrong person in prison for something that they didn't do.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, I mean, that happened in our last case, Doc Whitley. Jason Lively was convicted because someone was like, oh, I dropped him and someone else off at Doc's house. Then the witness came to the stand during the trial and he's like, oh yeah, I didn't do any of that. Like he recanted everything. Jason spent 14 years in prison and he was finally released. And from what we know, he's just trying to live a normal life right now.
Yeah.
The attorney that actually prosecuted him was the one who came back and said, no, we don't think he done it.
Yeah, he was like starting to put things together, got other people to look into stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't right.
Wow.
And
I have to look into that.
Yeah.
That happened in McDowell.
Yes.
Yeah, McDowell County.
Yeah.
McDowell. But yeah. What year did Doc Whitley?
Oh, Lord, I'm awful with years.
Same. I want to say maybe 05. I might be completely wrong.
It may be in the description here. Just give me a...
That's okay. Take your time. Well, we'll have to do another... you'll have to come back. Tell me about that one. But yeah, I remember hearing about that. I think they actually have done some larger national shows on that one too.
There was one on auction, and of course I didn't add anything into it. One second here. Let me just look through the transcript.
Oh, it's all good. No problem. Which we're going to get into, thoughts and prayers to Chandice's family. This is awful. And you're just talking about her mother. I mean, I couldn't imagine what she's going through. So hopefully if someone knows something, let's figure it out. I wonder if wonder who they could reach out to. Obviously, they're still actively investigating.
We always tell our listeners to go to Crime Stoppers in that area to reach out to anybody.
Yeah, Crime Stoppers is an excellent resource for sure. So let me just do a quick little search here. This is Clay County, and
That was the last thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it says here on May 7th, 2024, executed a search warrant in Clay County. So anyway, yep, Crime Stoppers, reach out. Let's figure this out. It's also on the state police's missing person. It says anyone having information should contact West Virginia State Police Sutton Detachment 304-765-2101 for sure.
And Doc happened in March of 2005.
Gotcha.
So you were right on the year.
Good call. Look at that. Courtney's always right, Mark. Let's just say it.
No, we don't say that.
No. There's certain, I can remember cases back and forth like the back of my hand, but then like when it comes to year, I'm like, I have no idea.
Sure, it's a lot. And then you got to like make sure to know that this is a very small percentage of people. Humans are overall still great people. But sometimes you forget that when you dive into this stuff and it gets a little dark.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're going to bring up next, which is a one from the 60s that people talk about all the time around here in southern West Virginia, and that's the Mad Butcher of Fayette County. So where do we want to start? We have, there's about 6 potential victims of the Mad Butcher, which is Ernest Gwynn, Sammy Smith, Mike Rogers, Lou Lewis, Shirley Jean Arthur, James Lee Haynes, and Bob McGee. And these are all younger men.
Mm-hmm.
I think a couple of them maybe older.
Relatively younger.
Yeah. But where do we want to start here?
Probably Ernest Gwynn. He went missing July 3rd, 1962. It was weird. He was, from what we hear, a creature of habit. He lived at the Virginian Hotel, which everyone thought it was the Hill Hotel, which is actually the hotel that is still in, well, it's not a hotel anymore. It's maybe apartments or something. It's down the road from like Wendy's and all that. You'll see it, but you'll never know it was a hotel. The Virginian Hotel, from what we've heard, is actually where Wendy's is today.
Okay, been there many times.
Yeah, and there's 0 pictures of it anywhere. So we're just going by what we've heard.
And what we have learned in multiple cases in Fayetteville, everything apparently happens where the Wendy's in O'Kill is.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have Teresa and Woods.
Yes.
She went missing. She was going to the convalescent right across from Wendy's. And
I used to have an office right across from Wendy's, the Bell Lamb building.
Yeah.
I used to be in there.
Yeah. I forget which one it was. We were never really told, but she was going to one of the little places in there. But he lived there and he was going to pay rent to his
landlord.
That's the word. And they actually owned the 4-Minute Lunch, which was right across the road.
Mm.
So he went there, had dinner, basically said bye to everyone, said he would see him in the morning because he would always go for breakfast.
He was very much a creature of habit, what we learned about this guy.
And he was last seen talking to 3, was it him that was seen talking to 3 guys? I believe so. And basically, these guys had a bad reputation. After that, he was basically never seen again after he left.
Mm.
He just vanished into the night. But his skull was rumored to be found. There was train workers working on the railroad. And what's the word called? Like a sudden storm.
Sudden storm. I'm terrible with words. You're asking.
Same. Oh, it's just like a cloud forms and boom, whatever that word is.
A cloudburst.
That's it.
Hey, good job, Courtney. See, Courtney's always right.
Yeah, and they ran under like a little cliff area, and they are like, "Oh, there's a hornet's nest here," and they're looking at them. They're like, "Oh, this is a skull." So they investigate it, get it sent off for like DNA and everything, and they're like, "Oh, it's Ernest Gwinn."
Wow.
So I'm not sure how far away that was from Oak Hill, but he has kind of always been said to be the first victim of the Mad Butcher.
Mm.
And then it was Sammy Smith. He went missing on October 20th, 1962.
And let's give a overview before we get into Sammy, R.I.P. What's the Mad Butcher theory?
Basically that they were always at the 4-minute lunch, and they got all of their victims there. Who it could be, we aren't sure. I've heard stories of people getting in vehicles with someone, seeing butcher equipment in the back of their truck, jumping out of it. And it's really, I want to say they have people in mind. It's been proven that it might not be them, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a bunch of things jumbled up into what people want to believe.
Sure. So it's a serial killer theory.
It is. And I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sure if there was a serial killer in Oak Hill at the time. Sure, things kind of add up in 2 cases in this. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, to me, I'm not sure if there was a serial killer. I could be completely wrong, and there could still be. Who knows? But, everything kind of just goes around the 4-minute lunch. And it's so weird at the end of the day because nothing adds up. And that's actually Ernest right there.
Is this the 4-minute lunch?
No, that's another thing that we'll talk about here in a second.
This is Ernest?
That's Ernest. And then I think a picture over. Nope. That is where the 4-minute lunch is supposed to be.
Gotcha.
Which actually, now that I think about it, it's not, because that's the Hotel Hill. So, yeah, that's just showing the Hotel Hill.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
and this is James Lee Haynes.
It is.
This is
Bob Agee.
Bob McGee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that is, hold on, give me a second here. Is that Mike Rogers?
Mike Rogers.
That is Sammy Smith. Could be wrong there.
Gotcha. Well, there's pictures of some young lads, strapping young lads, and you said this is not the 4-minute lunch. This is where the hotel is.
Yes. That's just, if you Google it, that's a picture that shows up. And I guess I have really bad vision because I always thought that that's what it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
all good.
Basically, everyone who had anything to do with this was reportedly seen there, had something to do with it. And it's just so weird. But Sammy Smith, he went missing October 20th, 1962. He would work odd jobs. And I think the day he went missing, he was a dishwasher at the 4-minute lunch. He decided, after his shift was up, he would go to the Top Hat Drive-In, which is that.
Okay.
Which, oh my God, what news station is it?
WOOY.
Yeah, that empty lot across from there, that's where that was.
Okay.
So after he left there, he was seen taking a shortcut, which is Blaketown Road. And it's rumored that he had a bigger amount of money on him than usual, and he was never seen again. So he kind of just disappeared. We aren't sure if someone picked him up to give him a ride home, anything of that. He kind of just vanished. And I'm guessing it could have happened on that road. It could have happened somewhere else on his way home. So, I mean,
Never found?
no.
Hmm.
Then Mike Rogers, he was 18. He had a mild mental handicap.
Which one was he?
I want to say the one in the white, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
him.
Gotcha.
And, you know, from what we've heard, great kid, great person. The day he went missing, he went home, ate 5 hot dogs, told his mom he was going to go look at Christmas lights in Oak Hill.
5 hot dogs, beast.
Literally. I'm like, I can barely do 2. So props to you doing 5.
This is Mike Rogers.
Okay. See, I should have labeled them.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
They all kind of just
There's a lot.
together
There's a
at the
lot
end of
with
the
this
day.
case, so it's totally fine. Keep going
So
though.
he told his mom, hey, I'm going to go look at Christmas lights. And he was last seen on the intersection of like Salem Road and US 20 by Jimbo Moore. And I'm guessing him and Jimbo Moore were friends, knew each other. He was like, hey, can you give me a ride? Jimbo was like, I'm running errands right now. Give me 30 minutes. I'll come back for you. Which to me, what's so important? You can't be like, yeah, just hop in. I'll run my errand. Then I'll drop you off.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't make someone wait 30 minutes to do anything if they're asking for a ride, especially in December. So by the time Jimbo gets done running his errands, he goes back and Mike isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Really not sure what happened to him. But on December 27th, a boy named Billy Priest was looking for bottle caps on Golly Mountain. And he looks over and he discovered naked remains chopped into 13 pieces. I believe some was in an army bag.
Something like that.
It was an army bag. And was he the one that was found near Hawk's Nest?
It was like in that vicinity
Yeah,
or something.
it was like so far away from Hawk's Nest that he was found.
Mm-hmm.
And he was chopped into 13 pieces. And it was found that he was shot in the head with a .22 caliber firearm. So really, after this, nothing has ever came out. Not sure how he was chopped into 13 pieces, what he was chopped into 13 pieces with. Just say he was chopped up. And I could only imagine what was going through Billy's head when he found a body chopped up.
I mean, my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, that would still have to haunt you if you're alive to this day.
It's insane.
I mean,
Yeah. 1962. Was he a kid that found
I
it?
believe so.
Well, if he was looking for bottle caps, so could be alive. 80?
Yeah.
70s, 80s?
Yeah, it could be. But
Wow.
really, I guess there's theories on what happened. I think it's been said that everything was kind of a clean cut, that you would have to know how to chop something up for it to be that good. So I think that's why the name Mad Butcher came to life.
Gotcha. And Lou Lewis was in 63.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like when you think about it though, like what a butcher actually does, like when they're cutting meat, and how like they'll know exactly what kind of knife to use and stuff, because you'll have to have knife to be able to break through certain points and things of that nature. So, I mean, that right there, and you're going to have a super sharp knife
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do all that.
You had to cut through bone, cut through basically anything, I think, in the human body. Like
Yeah.
the skin and meat, all that might be.
Very sharp.
13
That's
P. That's essentially every joint.
Yeah.
And then torso, probably 2 of them. Then head. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure it was a sight to be seen. And where it was on Golly Mountain, I'm not too sure. I just know Hawk's Nest is kind of thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was the Hawk's Nest Country Club or something. It was near the entrance of that. Either Hawk's Nest Country Club or Hawk's Nest Golf Course. It was near there. But Lou Lewis was July 27th, 1963. He left his home on Summerlee Avenue to walk 6 blocks to Maintown to go to the 4-minute lunch, where he had a few beers. He talked to a woman, and no idea what they talked about, but he, I want to say, kind of seemed somewhat depressed to the woman, said he didn't have that much time left. Then he left the bar. I think he left with like a case of beer. And he was seen walking the railroad tracks in Oak Hill. And then on May 15th, 1965, kids were playing on the railroad tracks between Minden and Thurman. And I'm not sure where they went to call the police, but they ended up calling the police because they found remains. And I want to say there was clothing, belt buckles, things like that. And the remains ended up being Lou Lewis Bennett. To me, I've heard he might have had cancer. He had something wrong. And I've kind of always had the theory, because they found dynamite, that he just chose to take a way out and blow himself up.
Wow.
And that's the only thing to me that makes sense with him. I'm not sure if you think the same way or not about it, but it just doesn't add up with him.
Out of every way to end your life,
Dynamite. Like,
why would you blow yourself up?
Pretty intense. I guess it would for sure work.
I'm sure.
And then too, like looking at that picture, that uniform definitely looks like World War I or possibly II,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And you know, who's not to say that he possibly didn't have like PTSD from all the trauma that he witnessed.
Now, how old was he? 42. Okay. So, yeah, it'd have been World War II.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really don't even know if he was married, to be honest. Like,
that just don't make no sense. I mean, for the fact that you would have to strap dynamite to your body, and dynamite's going to have major force with it. So the odds of his body being together is not going to be good.
Mm-mm.
And things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of wound it would create. I mean, I guess it depends on how much dynamite and, I'd say, you could still be intact. It would not be pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
But then,
Depends on the
after
force.
laying there for so long, I'm sure animals would have came
Yeah.
and all of that. But I'm pretty sure it said like the remains were scattered, and I don't know. I'm not too sure.
There wasn't a lot on him. I don't remember.
There really wasn't. So it's kind of just a guessing game. Like, all we know is that kids found him, railroad tracks. And that's really it. That they think, he blew himself up because dynamite.
Yeah.
So, but because of the time and where it was, boom, Mad Butcher.
Mm. Well, daggone Lou, R.I.P., which leads us to Shirley Jean Arthur.
It was November 22nd, 1963. His dad dropped him off at his girlfriend's house in Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
He spent the evening there, ate with her family. Everything seemed normal. Around 1 a.m., he decided to walk home. And to me, it shouldn't take that long to get out of Sophia walking.
Depends
on where it is. But he was last seen in Sophia at 2 a.m. And on December 8th, he was reported missing. But on December 7th, 3 teenagers looking for firewood in Indian Creek, which is
Wyoming County.
Yes. Found a body 25 feet off of the road. It was cut into 2 sections. I want to say part of the body was out in the open. Another part might have been in an army sack, something like that, burlap sack, something. And his family believed it was him, his girlfriend and mom, and possibly his sister, but his brothers didn't think it was him.
Mm-hmm.
And from the autopsy, it said there was wounds from what they could only think of like an ice pick type like item. So, and I want to say from the autopsy, there was actually the food that was found in his stomach, in his system, was actually the food they had that evening at his girlfriend's house. And it was like a crazy...
I think that's actually how they were able to confirm that it was him.
Yeah, it was a crazy list of food. So it made sense that it was him after being there. So him and... Let me see here. Oh, which one is it? Mike Rogers are really the only two as of right now that kind of coincide of the same thing happened to him, how they were found. But after him, it was really James Lee Haynes.
Which is a very intriguing
it is.
And sad case because there's still family actively searching, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
And they found his body, right? But
No.
Nope.
Oh no, they did not find. They kind of have an idea of what happened.
There's a very good idea, which I actually had a phone call with his daughters a few weeks ago, which we should be seeing them soon. Basically, James was coming home from Germany, and his van was still being shipped from Germany. He wanted to go see his mom and stepdad because his daughters, Brenda and Linda, were born not too long before he left. So he wanted to go show how tiny their clothes were to his mom. So he had those with him. And I want to say he might have been on his way to a base in Kentucky. Don't quote me, could be wrong. I've seen that somewhere. But he was making his way to West Virginia, and he caught a ride with a woman. I forget her name because I think I've only seen it once, but she dropped him off in Oak Hill, which gets his connection to the Mad Butcher case. But he made it to Bolt, and he went to the Bolt Tavern, wanted to warm up because December 7th, freezing in West Virginia, I'm sure back then too. And depending on what time of day, I'm sure it was night, but he went in there to kind of warm up some, and Lundy Trump and a few others who I forget their names went up to him, wanted to buy him a beer. He's like, I just want to warm up, get coffee, hot chocolate in my system, and then head out. That sets him off, starts a fight, and his daughters, Linda and Brenda, told me our dad wasn't one to start a fight, but he would end it. So after the fight, he gets up, gets all of his stuff, starts walking to Salisville. And he is on Little Boat Mountain. And that's when the guys are going up in their vehicle and they run him over. And I guess they're trying to play it like, oh, what did we hit? So they back over him to see what they hit. When they back over him, they crush his skull.
And where did this come from? Is this like a witness statement or?
Things I've seen.
Right.
So
it was said?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in an interview, which there is a witness to them putting him in the vehicle. He didn't realize what was going on until a few days later after James was reported missing.
He thought that they were having car trouble.
Yeah. And back then the road wasn't even paved. It was gravel. So they didn't want to slow down. I think I don't know the guy's name. I only know him as B because that was his nickname. He's like hanging out the window while the guy is driving there, he's like, hey, do you need any help? They're like, no. So he just keeps driving. And after they put James in the trunk, they take him to Lundy Trump's house. The only way that we know what happened there is Lundy Trump's daughter. Back in the day, if you couldn't afford school lunch, you could help clean up in the kitchen. And my great-grandmother was actually a cook at Glen Rogers High School.
Shout out. Well, I mean, rest in peace.
Yeah. And Lundy's daughter looks at her and was like, my daddy brought that soldier home and had my mom wrap him up in, I've heard reports it was a rug, a blanket, a wedding quilt, wrapped him up in something, threw him in a room.
Wow.
And the kids weren't allowed in the room, which I've seen the room. Courtney hasn't. It's, his daughters actually came, was it 2016? I was somewhere and I couldn't be there. They had radars come in, scan. They thought they saw something. Turns out it was a rock. But, really after that, nothing was said.
Mm-hmm.
But, from what I've seen, he was taken up Upper Big Branch Holler, which, what mines is that? Where it is?
I'm not sure what the mines is, but there was an Upper Big Branch Holler in Wyoming County.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So not because Upper Big Branch is in Mont Cole.
No, has nothing to do with that. Which,
Gotcha.
In the beginning, everyone thought maybe that's. But then, from what I've seen, I've mapped out the road, all of that, and on Google Earth it says Upper Big Branch, and then there's a big branch, and it connects somewhere to more areas, but and what's weird, my nanny actually has, my cousin drew a picture of the Bolt Temple, which is right there near Upper Big Branch Holler, and that's in her hallway. And when the daughters came to my nanny's house, they're like, oh, what's this? And nanny's like, oh, it's up, the temple. Is it Tipple? Whatever it's called. I always get it confused. And they're like, oh, that's kind of near where Dad is. So, they interview all of the guys, and basically it's kind of said his dog tags and a few bloody handkerchiefs are found. His dog tags were tacked to a tree somewhere in the Bolt Mountain area. I'm not sure. Was that what was found near where your family lived at the time?
I think so.
Yeah, it was found near where some of Courtney's family lived.
Mm.
And then, that was that. And then,
which it was confirmed the items did not belong.
No, it was actually his. And I want to say maybe a billfold was found too.
Mm.
But those were his. But at Lundy's house, the people who live there now, their kids would find pins, buttons, all of this, and they're like, this is weird, don't know what it is, so they would just toss it somewhere.
Right.
Turns out later, they think now it could have been part of James's uniform.
Oh, wow. Okay. I have a note brought up here. It says a search was conducted where several pieces of evidence were collected, including a wallet, dog tags, and bloody rags. Mm-hmm. But it does say the family has confirmed the items did not belong to Haynes.
Oh.
But take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, because Linda and them swear to this day it was her dad's.
Oh, if you talk to her, I'd go by that.
Yeah, so there's so many reports on this, and everything doesn't add up because it's so many different people. But from what I've seen in files, interviews, it's hey, this is where his body is. He's under a beech tree. They never really looked for him.
Mm.
Lundy Trump was arrested, but because back then I think it was nobody, no crime, he was let go. And to this day, everyone is like, James is a victim of the Mad Butcher. And I'm like, no. I'm like, just trust me on this. I'm like, I grew, his case is the other one that is like my origin story in true crime, because going over the mountain, because my grandmother or great grandmother lived over in that area, it was like, you know, look out for the soldier on Bolt Mountain. Kind of, I always thought it was just a legend that my grandparents was like telling us just to have us be good going across Little Bolt. But, you know, it's weird because there's so much about his case. Like, people actually thought his remains were the ones found when Margie Dodd was found.
Really?
And my grandmother was actually going across the mountain to work when they found Margie's remains. So she's like, Margie didn't even cross her mind. She's like, it's either Shereice or James. But at the end of the day, you know, there is things in James's file that I've seen that, to me, Bing Bang Boom should have been solved back in the day. People should have been in jail. But they got to live their life. I think there may only be one that was in the vehicle that is still alive to this day. Could be completely wrong. But, you know, they would never talk about it. Lundy's family will not talk about it. But it was months. James was the second case we covered. And a few months later, I was like updating our website and I saw we had a message. And I forget who it was from. It was either Linda or Brenda. And they're like, we would love to talk to you. Me being me, I sent a text, sent it to the wrong number. So I was going weeks and I'm like, let me just try this again. I'm like, oh, you know, idiot here, did the wrong number. So I sent a text. We ended up on a call. A few months later, they ended up at my nanny's house. Courtney was out of town. Yeah, out of town. So she didn't get to meet him. And we were going over some stuff. We ended up actually driving over there. That's when I got a look in Lundy's old home. And then we ended up on back roads. I didn't realize this, but I ended up in some of Courtney's family's driveway.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, if I would have known that, I would have been like, oh, it's fine. But me, I'm like, it's Wyoming County. You don't really know whose driveway you're in. Sure. But now I'm like, I'm Courtney's friend. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But we ended up on a back road somewhere. And then we actually ended up in Upper Big Branch talking to this guy. And that's when we heard that it was his wedding quilt that they wrapped him up in. And to this day, it kills me that his case has never been solved, because it's right there in plain view, but, you know, no one would look into it, which hopefully that's changing here soon. You know, we hope. His daughters have told me, they're like, we really don't want to move his body. We just want to know where he is.
Sure, yeah.
Because he made it home to the mountains. And there is a plot for him in Maryland. And
is that where they live? Okay.
Well, no. One lives in Maryland. One might live in Pennsylvania somewhere. Like, they're still close.
That's the place that he was living at the time that he was traveling home.
It was Baltimore. And, you know, his family just wants to know what happened to him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no justice that could be done now, but they just want to know where he is. And, you know, I've said to this day to them, literally not even 2 weeks ago, that, you know, you guys are still fighting. Me and Courtney are still fighting, you know, alongside with you. So, you know, if anything, I would just love for his remains to be found and there be where, you know, it's said they actually are.
Yeah. Maybe a hunter will come across them. Happens. I have obviously with Margie Dodd's case. And then we have Bob McGee, or Bob Agee, nickname Mac. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bob Agee.
Yeah. Me and Courtney, we've butchered that last name. It was in a case that we did, and everyone's like, you got that last name wrong. I'm like, we Google Translate a lot. That's what Google
Sure,
Translate
that's all you can
we
do.
do.
That's all you can do.
And we play it multiple times, even to where the point Google Translate just slows down.
Yeah.
We're like, okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll just say it's got nickname Mac here in
Yeah.
quotes. So
He was home visiting in February 1962. Was it his mom that was in a nursing home?
Yes.
Yeah, he was visiting his mom. He was in from Chicago, and he left the nursing home to go to Kingwood, and basically vanished. They thought, maybe he went back to Chicago to work.
That's
And-
the only reason why they knew that he was missing. It was because they called his work and they were like, no, he's never came back.
Yeah. And, for months they thought, oh, maybe he's just back in Chicago.
mhm.
So that's really all there is on his case, that they think he left the nursing home, went to walking towards Kingwood, decided to go to Chicago. And how he got thrown into the Mad Butcher, I'm not sure. I guess it was from the date of his
Yeah.
disappearance, but
his remains or nothing has ever been found.
Yeah.
he just vanished. And, it's just one of those, like, how someone can vanish to me and there be no trace. Like, could he have been hit somewhere and someone just threw him in a shallow grave somewhere? Or could he be a victim of the Mad Butcher, or whoever is said to be the Mad Butcher?
Yeah.
Or just another killer in general? Or like a robbery gone wrong.
Yep.
I mean, his is like the one where there is really nothing on it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
So really, did we go through Ernest?
Mhm.
Yeah, we
He was
did.
the first one.
That was the first one. Really, the only one. I mean, it could have been one murder that turned into a whole serial killer
Mhm.
theory, because Mike Rogers is the only one that is officially found and obviously butchered.
Yeah.
And
Shirley, he was found in kind of the same way he was chopped up.
okay, yeah.
To me, and like, I never put this together. I'm like, it makes no sense for a serial killer to come from Fayette County and not kill someone in Raleigh County on your way to Wyoming County. But then getting into this, I'm like, oh, he was actually picked up in Raleigh County. Who knows what could have happened? But I don't know. It's just, there's really only two that connects to it being someone who killed the same way.
Sure.
The other ones to me are just thrown in because of location.
Yeah. It's very odd timing
100%.
for sure.
100%. But me and Courtney, we've gone back and forth on this for ever. And we're like, we're never going to cover it. But then I've heard that there's someone trying to convince Linda and Brenda that, James is a victim of the Mad Butcher. And I'm like, no, don't change your mind. You have the files, you know what's happened. But luckily that hasn't happened. There is, from what I've heard, a book in the works on the Mad Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
So how that's going to go, I don't know. But, the Mad Butcher, to me, is just one of the cases that everyone clings to in Southern West Virginia.
Yeah. Very eerie and scary and awful and all the words, tragic. And it's not really, I mean, that's cold. Like, it's not really being pursued.
No, not from what we've heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which I know, if they get a tip, maybe they look into it. I don't know, but I don't know what happens there. But wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of death. Thank you all for laying it out there. Very sorry for all the families. What can, so as we wrap up here, we're in the 2-hour mark, y'all. How can people get a hold of you? Where do you want them to go? All that good stuff.
You can follow us on our social medias that are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, YouTube, all at Mountain State Mysteries.
You can email us anything whatsoever at Mountain State Mysteries Podcast or Oh my God, what is our email? Brain
Mountain
fart.
State Mysteries.
304 at
at
gmail.com.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
We say a lot of words, y'all.
Yeah, well, I get confused because we have like Mountain State Mysteries podcast.com. Then the email's long. I'm like, why did I ever create an email that long?
You can always make another one.
I know.
But you get all this stuff set up under it, and it's like, it's pain in the butt.
Yeah.
That's great. And y'all have merch?
Yes.
Yes.
Shoot, yeah. Where can they purchase?
On our Squarespace, we have the link set up on Facebook and all of our link trees. They can click in, just go buy whatever. We have hats, stickers, keychains, koozies.
I rock the
shirts.
hat every show in the studio right here, as you can see. So yeah, for sure. Well, thank you all. Appreciate you being here. We're gonna make this a thing. Like, y'all come up with a batch of cases, come back in 3-4 months, we'll do it again. Everyone else, before you leave this video, make sure to like it if you liked it, and then comment below your experience. Subscribe to Creepalachia on YouTube if you haven't. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, take a minute, leave a review. That'll really help the show be found. And we are on Facebook and TikTok. We have merch now at creepalachia.shop. All of that will help the show become sustainable and grow into something, hopefully helpful and beautiful and all those good things. And above all else, last but not least, always remember, long live Appalachia.